What's up, world? This is your boy, Coach EV, aka EV the Geeker, and welcome to another edition of Talking Hoops in the SIP. That's right, Talking Hoops in the SIP, brought to you by Tatum and Wade Law Firm, located at 124 East of Meat Street, located right here in Jackson, Mississippi. Tatum and Wade are serious lawyers who get serious results. I say if you want to get paid, you better go to Tatum and Wade. I am as excited as I can be tonight. I'm talking about, we have a special guest, and I'm going to get to it in a few minutes. But before I do that, I want to make sure that our other guests here tonight, our other co-hosts. We have today bringing back one of our special co-hosts, hadn't been on in a minute, Mr. Charles Felton, aka Chucky. What up, Chucky?
Hey, what's up, EV? Things good, man.
And then we have our regular co-host, my guy, Cordarius Jones of the DC Bucks. What up, Cord?
How you doing, Coach?
Coming on later will be the big head elephant, Eddie Young. He'll jump on at some point. He has one of the biggest heads in the world. It was just I just got notified by Big Head of America. He's a first team All-American big head dude. You know, he's up for Big Head of the Year. And, you know, and he'll be jumping on soon. So, let's make sure that when you look on the live, do the live chat on the YouTube channel, let's make sure that we congratulate Eddie by saying, congratulations, Big Head Eddie. So make sure in our live chat, we say, congrats, Big Head Eddie, and he'll know what that means. I'll let him know later. But without further ado, we have a special guest, and I am so excited to have her on. I don't know what to do. She is a first team All-American, JUCO All-American. She dominated JUCO basketball as a freshman, and she played for one of the top JUCO teams in the country right here in Mississippi. Let's welcome to the show and future Auburn signee, the young lady who was getting ready to go and turn Auburn basketball around. Let's welcome to former Clinton High School Lady Arrow and former now Jones County JUCO star Jakayla Johnson. What up, Kayla?
Hey, Coach. How you doing?
Doing fantastic. So excited to have you on the show here today. I just want to make sure that our chatters, if you are listening right now, do me a favor and just say something in the chat to make sure that you can hear me and everything is coming in loud and clear. I just want to make sure we don't have any technical difficulties going in. Can you guys hear me pretty good, Chuck, Kayla, and Corey? Y'all good?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Cool. Okay, I just want to make sure that everything is going live and everything is going good, and making sure that everybody can hear me. Well, listen, it's been it was a big week of basketball, but before we go into that, I want to just go into we're going to talk to Jakayla tonight, and Jakayla, just to give you a little backdrop of the story. Jakayla has encountered what a lot of us encounter in life. Life hits us with adversity, and depending on how we handle the adversity, depends on how far we go in life. And so Jakayla has a tremendous story, an incredible story, and she's agreed to come on and just grace us with her presence and telling us about her story. She recently suffered her third torn ACL. And as disappointing as that is, I haven't seen too many young people or people, period, that has that type of bad news or challenging news that has such a positive outlook on life. And that is a tribute to her character. And it excites me even more because that tells me this young lady's going places. So, Jakayla, I just want you to talk a little bit about, whatever God has on your heart or laid on your heart for us tonight, and just share with us. Take us through. Let's go back. Let's go back in memory lane here. Let's go back
Yes.
to the first time you had your first ACL, and tell us about that, what year it was, and how you handle it, and then take us through the next, all three of them. Let's start with your
Yes.
first.
Yes, sir. Well, the first one I tore, it was in 2018. I didn't know how to take it. Like, I just couldn't believe that I had torn my ACL because I had never torn my ACL. So we was at a tournament down in Southern, and I really don't remember actually what I was doing. I think I was just going up for a layup, and it tweaked. And so I'm thinking, okay, it's just probably a hyperextended knee. And everybody, the trainers at Southern Miss saying, oh, it's just that. Okay. The next day I go out and play again because I want to play. I'm a competitor. I love to play basketball. So I couldn't deal with being sitting out. So I go out, I play on it again. It tweaked again Sunday. And come to find out, when I went to the doctor, I had torn my ACL and I had made it worse going out there and playing Sunday. If I hadn't sat down the first time, it wouldn't have been this bad. So the first one, I didn't know how to take it. Like, I didn't know what to do. Okay, so the next year, I had
Now,
came back.
I'm sorry, Kay. What grade were you in at that time? What
I
grade?
was I was in the 10th, getting ready to go to the 11th. I was with
Okay, so
AAU during that time. I tore my ACL. School was over. High school, my sophomore year, and high school was over. I was getting ready to go to the 11th grade.
okay, put a pause real quick. What did you average your sophomore year in high school?
Ooh, I don't remember. I don't remember what I averaged.
Did you play
This
a lot?
coach.
Did you play a lot? Did you start as a
Yes,
sophomore?
sir. I played a
Okay.
lot for Coach Coleman. This one, Coach Coleman was there. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
And so then you got hurt summer playing AU. Okay, so that was your going into your junior year. Was it your right knee or your left knee?
It was my right.
Okay, so go ahead. That was the first.
That was the first one. And then I got released to like come back and play my junior year, January the 4th in 2019. And I kid you not, the next month when we played in the district championship, I tore my left one. February
Wow.
the 15th. I'll never forget that day. I tore my second ACL, and guess what I was doing? Nothing again. At the goal, under the goal. Every time I tore my ACL, I'm literally doing nothing really to Terry, just frequency accident. And so I tore this one worse than the first one. When I went to the doctor, he said it's way worse. I think I had did everything in my left leg. I think it was my MCL, my ACL. It was everything. It was way worse than the first one. And I'm just like, well, at this point in time, I want to give up. Like, I didn't want to play basketball no more. Like, that's the feeling that I had with myself. I was like, you know what? Maybe this not for me. I had tore my ACL again. I don't want to play. But it was this lady who just, I love basketball. My mama was by my side a lot. So I'm like, I really can't. She was like, Kelly, she always in my ear, Kelly, do you really want to do it? Is that really what you want to do? She know I don't want to do it. But she'll be like, is that really what you want to do? And so I had this lady who was saying, like, you don't want to quit. Like, she just had a little talk with me, and it made me change my whole aspect of what I wanted to do after my second ACL. So a couple years later to now, when we played at Gulf Coast last
So
Monday.
I need to hold on one before we
Oh,
go there, because
okay.
I remember. So your junior year, your district championship. Did you guys win or lose that game? By the way,
We lost to Greenville. They was good that year.
so you lost to Greenville. So
Yes, sir.
now, all right. Before we go into your last one, so I remember when I met the great Jakayla Johnson. You have a knee brace on, leading Clinton to and first year coach, I think Perlene Farley, to a state championship. So talk
Yes,
to us
sir.
about that a little
Mhm.
bit. At coming off your second ACL and when you got cleared to play, and take us through your senior season a little bit. with
Ooh,
homecoming ball?
when I got cleared to play my senior, only thing I can do is like I do every year. I pray to God, like, please let me have a healthy season, wherever the case may be. And so, with that being said, I knew I had Clint on my back. I knew I was a target, you know. And so I would pray like before a game. You know how football players run to the end zone, they pray. So after my name is being called in the starting lineup, I would take one knee underneath the goal and I just say a quick prayer to the Lord. And so that changed my whole aspect. And with that, like when that started happening and stuff, I started not like I was acknowledging God and everything I do. Like my relationship with God just got closer, like closer than it was before. And so from that standpoint, God, I knew God had a plan for me from this standpoint. I'm like, man, I've been through 2 ACLs and this is my senior year here. I gotta lead this team. Like it's something that I gotta do. I want to change the history. I always been a kid who want to make a change, a difference. And so those kids looked up to me. Like even the ones who was older than me, they looked up to me. So I knew I had a huge meal on my plate my senior year. And my goal has always been to, when I was young, to be a Danny Dozen. Even though I didn't make that, I didn't care because people looked over me. That just made me more hungry. Like, hey, keep sleeping on me. I don't care about none of that. Not have no stars by my name. Not being Danny Dozen. That's it. Man, I'm hungry. I'm still hungry. Just because you a Danny Dozen don't mean that didn't faze me. That don't mean nothing. So that made me hungry. So I'm like, hey, people sleeping on Clint. They saying we not gonna be this, we not gonna be that. And I knew I had to be a leader. So that's what I wanted to do. And God helped me with it. Like I led that team all the way to a 6A state championship that year. So it was a
How
lot.
was
Like I
how
had a
was
lot. Changing coaches. With changing
yeah?
coaches, that was a lot. Like honestly, I didn't know how they would be. Like I told my mom that I wanted to transfer from a standpoint because I didn't know. I've never been in a predicament like that. So I'm like, I don't know if this coach, because I didn't know Coach Fairley for real. So I'm like, I don't know if this coach, how this coach is, Mom. I don't know. So I wanted to transfer. She might not even know that I wanted to transfer, but I wanted to.
Hey,
But
where did you want to go? Where did you want to go, Kay? Like you want to transfer? Talk to us. Where would you have thought about going? Now that you say that.
ooh, I was thinking about, was it Provine? I think it was either, I talked to Coach. I was talking to Coach at Provine. Where else? I can't remember where all the schools I was gonna I had a choice to transfer to. So
What made you go ahead and say, you know what, I'm gonna give this, I'm gonna stick it out here? What made you do that?
it was just something telling me like, you should give a chance. Like I noticed your last year, you winning or losing, it's like you win or you lose. So I'm like, like my gut just kept telling me to like give it a try. It might won't be as bad as you think it is. So I'm like, God, I'm just praying. I'm always, like I said, I always acknowledge God in everything I do. So I'm like, what you think I should do before it's too late? And he was giving me signs of just stay and everything will, go as it should. So I stayed and it turned out to be like the best year of my life. Like, and it's crazy because I've never experienced like having change of coaches. My last year, I'm changing coaches, like, like it was weird. But I actually enjoyed Coach Fairley. Like, she texted me the other day saying she enjoyed coaching me that 1 year and how I gained her ultimate respect off of that 1 year that she got to spend with me, and how I've been a leader to those kids. To this day, those kids still look up to me and watching my every step and move. So
Let me jump
it was
in
a lot.
right here and before we jump into your going to your college career, because I think it's something I think that's very valuable and very important what you did. You had an opportunity to quit basically, or change. You wanted to change the scenery without having all the information. Basically, you wanted to leave potential because you're having, getting ready to experience change, something new. And for all you kids out there and parents and everything, I think a lot of times that's what you we need to really take a look at, before we leave a situation, look at everything. It may not be your time to leave. And you need to, like, I think God is telling a lot of people to just stay. And sometimes they think, as they say, as the old saying says, the grass is greener on the other side. And in reality, it's not. Just imagine, let's just say, and I don't know how Provine did that year, but let's say you went to Provine. Well, and I know you would have made Provine better, but Provine didn't. I don't think Provine went to the state championship that year. Now, maybe if they'd had you, they might have. But at the end of the day, you stayed, gave a first-year coach like Coach Farley a chance. And like you just said, you had one of your best years ever. And I think that's important. I think people quit too often. And but anyway, I just wanted to throw that in there. I thought that's very admirable of you. And a lot of people probably didn't know that. Even Coach Fairley didn't know that. I certainly didn't know that.
I was.
Chuck, did you know that, Chuck? You're a Clinton guy. Did you know? Now Chuck may have known that. He's a Clinton guy. He knows a little bit of everything about.
I really did want to leave.
That's my first time. No, that's my first time hearing that, and I was surprised to hear that.
Yeah, I want to leave, Coach.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Well, anyway, go ahead and then you went on and let me ask you this question, okay? I've always wanted to know this. Were you a qualifier out of high school, or did you have to go JUCO? Because I know that you had people on you. What's your story there? Like, because I did.
I qualified, but I had made like my ACT. I don't think my ACT had reached, but like my grades at the point of time, they were saying your grades could vouch for you going to the next level. Like, I didn't have to have the ACT during that year, but I think I had made like a 15 on the ACT, and I needed like 18 or higher or something. Okay. But my grades were valued. I was able to play at the next level with my grades that year.
So then you choose a perennial power, Jones. Tell us about that experience, and then go ahead and lead that into to where you are. Your first year, and how did that go? You guys had a great year, and you had a great year. Tell me about that.
Well, after my injury at high school, and I know I had D1, I had ULM, I had North Alabama, I had Southern Miss, I had D1 schools who wanted me out of high school. But with me being an ACL, off of ACL, and everybody, you know how some coaches will lie to you, like they'll lie, tell you, oh, we'll help you. My main concern was it wasn't playing time, it wasn't none of that. It was about my leg, because I didn't want to get injured no more. So I wanted to make sure that they would take care of me and my leg, like for my leg, because my main thing was to get my leg healthier and get it stronger. And coaches will tell you, oh yeah, we'll do this, we'll do that. Then when you get in there, it's a different ball game. Like, it's like, forget your leg. You're gonna have to do the best you can. You on your own. And so I came on a visit here at Jones, and people will always tell me, used to always tell me, oh, don't go JUCO. JUCO is not good. This and that about JUCO, like talking bad on JUCO, when JUCO kids actually have the same mindset as D1 kids. We all got the same mindset. We all want to go D1. We all going to the same. Leaving JUCO, you going straight D1. You know what I'm saying? So after that, I came to Jones on a visit to Jones. I had every JUCO in Mississippi. Like, I could have went to any JUCO I wanted to, but I came here. I can't, because I had been watching Jones for years when they was going to the tournament over at Mississippi College. So I had been watching them ever since Lex was there. She playing it overseas now. But I had been watching them, so I'm like, okay, if I go JUCO, I want to go to one of the best JUCOs in Mississippi. So Coach Pitts started recruiting me, and so I came on a visit. And the first thing they did was take me to the weight room. And when they took me to the weight room, I fell in love right then and there with Coach Q and what he was doing with those kids, with those ladies, how their bodies were built, upper body and lower body. And I'm like, okay, maybe this is the place for me. Maybe I can get my legs stronger right here. And so after that, I talked to Coach Pitt and Coach Builderback, and that's when I made my commitment here at Jones. And I feel like that was the best decision of my life coming here to Jones. These folks would treat you good. Like Jones is the place to be. Like they took care of me mentally and physically, whatever I was going through, whatever I needed, they took care of me. My legs.
Whoa, time out. Lauren Pippen and Missy Bilderberg? Really? No, I'm just messing with you.
Well, I can say if any of these kids on this live right now and they being recruited by Jones, I can say this: they would not lie to you. They would tell you the truth. I told them what I wanted to do. I said I wanted to come here. I wanted to get my legs strong, and then I told them I spoke it up my own self. I said I will be an All-American. Even Coach John said that. I said I will be an All-American. I said I will play at the highest level. When I leave this school, I will get a scholarship from the highest school, and I will play at the highest level. And I came here, I committed myself. I was in the gym late night after practice. I'm the only one in the gym staying, getting shots up. I made a commitment to them, just like they made a commitment to me. I gave my all, just like they gave their all to me. Now I'm playing at the highest level. They took care of me. My leg, Coach Q loved me in the weight room. Like I did everything I was supposed to do with my leg in the weight room. And now I'm going to play at Auburn next year at the highest level, the SEC, the highest you can go. That's big, Coach. Like, and I had
That's
faith.
huge. That's huge. There's no question.
Every day, I probably could never did that.
Now tell us this. So here you go. You're at the school. Right now you picked the right school. They've done everything that they said they're gonna do. You working extra hard. You in the weight room. You doing everything you're supposed to do. You late night in the gym. You made your dream of first team All-American. I mean, everything. The Bible says death and life is in the power of the tongue. You spoke life over your situation. Everything is coming to fruition that you've spoken out. And then you get another ACL. What happened in your mind after all this? You're on a high. You guys are undefeated. You're getting ready to get another run at a national championship. Their best player, not only on the team, one of the best top 5 in the country. And boom, you get the ACL. Take us through that, your third one.
Ooh, when I heard, I kind of knew. I'll be honest. Like when I drove to the basket really hard. It just like I said, it just planted really wrong and it twisted. So I knew coming down, Coach, how it felt. I had already knew I tore my ACL again because I've been through it twice and I know the feeling. But in my mind, I didn't want to be negative. I wanted to have positive thoughts like, oh, it's not my ACL. It's not my ACL. I'm going to be okay. I get to the doctor. They tell me it's my ACL. I just broke down. Like, I couldn't handle it. But I was upset because I didn't want to leave this team. I was the leading scorer for this team. Anything I wanted to help this team go to nationals and win a nationals championship. These girls on this team right now look up to me, literally. So I didn't want that to happen, and I hated that happened. But then again, I said, God got a plan for me. They called me, after she called me and said, it's minor, it's very small, that they're going to do robot assistance on me and that I should be back 3 months. Man, do you not know how I felt? I said, man, God, what are you trying to tell me? Like, what is it? Like I said, I had questions like, what is it? I can walk, EB. I can walk on my leg. I don't have no swelling. It doesn't hurt at all. I can drive. I can do everything. So my coach like, is this a nightmare? Like, it's nothing clearly. I'm perfect. It's nothing wrong with me. It's just like, is it a nightmare? Like, is it not? Wake me up from this nightmare. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what God has, but it's just joy because it's something he's getting ready to do. And like I told Coach Pitt, I'm going to tell y'all, I will be the SEC. I'm gonna be up there. I'm going to be one of those players, what they call SEC Player of the Year. I'm going to be there. I know that right after Flap. That's what's going to happen. God's got a plan for me. It's something, I don't know what it is. Obviously, because if I knew, I would tell the world what it is. I don't know. I don't, but
well, I know this. I like your outlook on life and your outlook after such, because it's major adversity. You know, you're talking about which knee was this? Which was this? So this is your
The recent knee, actually, 2019.
so your left knee.
Yes, sir.
Your left knee gets torn again, slight tear, but enough to knock your season out. But the blessing is you signed with Auburn. And tell us a little bit about why you chose Auburn, and then what you're actually getting ready to do now that you've been thrown a curveball.
Well, I'm glad I signed with Auburn because when I was going on visits, Auburn made me, for one, I love Coach Johnny. Me and Coach Johnny's spirits just connected. Like, literally, when I got on the visit, I wanted in a D1 coach. I wanted like a family coach, somebody who would take care of me far from home, but not only business, but you know how some coaches is strictly business. And I get that. I don't have a problem with it. But with me, I wanted to be a family. I wanted to have a family coach and a business coach, not just business, you know? So when I went on my visit, I fell in love with Coach Johnny, and she made me her first priority. Like, she made it known, like, I want you, literally. And she told me she would take care of me. And then she wanted to build this program or that program around me. And so I'm glad that I'm glad that I signed with them. What coach do you know from the SEC would come and would supposed to be recruiting another kid, but comes to your school, sit in your practice, and sits on campus for 5 hours and talk to you? A head coach. What coach do you know would do that? And then take you out to eat? I don't know no SEC coach that'll do that if they don't want you, for real. And so I just felt that connection right then and there. I meant something to that lady. That lady actually really wanted me. Out of all the other coaches I was being recruited besides Mississippi State, she came and she made it known, like, hey, I want you for real. And that what made me go with Auburn. And
who are your top, like, who are your final three, you know?
I had top two. My top two was LSU and Auburn.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And Johnny, you just felt that spiritual connection.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Tell us how, when you found out you had your third ACL, when did you talk to Johnny, and what did Coach Harris, and what did she say?
Well, it's crazy because when I told her that I had tore my ACL for the third time, you know what? She's happy. She not happy because I tore my ACL, but she's ready to get me on campus like now. This lady went and made everything, like, she had my apartment ready to move in. They told me I could come this week. Like, she was ready to get me down. She was like, because I meant what I said. Like, I want to build this program around you. So I want to get you down here now. I want to get you surgery. So I go have surgery in Pensacola, Florida, with one of the best doctors. And that she wanted me to go ahead and rehab to get me healthy for next season. So it's crazy because, you know, a lot of people talk bad on me. A lot of people don't like to see me be successful. So a lot of people saying, oh, you're going to get your scholarship took and this and that. But Johnny did not take my scholarship away. If anything, Johnny believed in me and ready for me to get to Auburn so we can handle business.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, you're getting ready to go and you're going to be there for next semester and to get acclimated. And then you'll have 4 years. That's amazing. You know, that to get a Jakayla Johnson who's played for 2 years, All-American, and then you get to a 4-year school and have 4 years, that's crazy. Corey, you or Chuck, y'all have anything y'all want to ask Jakayla or make any comments? Please jump in.
Hey, well, EV, like I said, I talked to Kayla. She and I talk a lot. Like I said, she has been definitely inspiration to me. The way she's kind of taking my daughter on her wings and was getting her to and from practice and cleanse. So, like I said, she and I have a really, really good relationship, and I pretty much have, you know, talked to Kayla about everything. I just want to tell her here publicly that I'm proud of her and that it brings tears to my eyes, you know, to hear her story and see how she's so resilient and that nothing is going to stop her, and just let her know, you know, like I said, me and Taylor, you mean the world to us. So, like I said, keep doing what you're doing.
Yes, sir.
So, how you doing, Jakayla? You good?
Yes, sir.
I don't know if you remember. I've seen you run that score clock a couple summers. Messing them scores
Oh,
up on.
yes, sir.
But now I wanted to ask. You say you did not make the Danny Dozen list
I
ever.
did. No, sir. No. I've been
So,
slept on my whole life.
and that's crazy because you was really, really good in high school. I mean, can you tell some of these young ladies that might be listening that when somebody have an opinion on you that they don't stop your projection like as a player, like you still get in the gym and work hard and prove people wrong like you obviously have, and then you
Yes.
took the JUCO route, and that's another where somebody can say, oh well, she might not make it, and you going to the SEC, the biggest conference in girls basketball. So explain to the girls out here, like your drive on that motivation you took from them people doubting you on that.
When people sleep on me or doubting me, that made me like, hey, okay, I need to get in the gym. I got something to prove. Like, you're not finna just sit up here and say, oh, she not gonna bounce back, or she ain't no Danny Dozen, so she ain't good. Man, half of these kids out here better than some of the Danny Dozen that's on the Danny Dozen. No offense to some of the kids that's on Danny Dozen. I'm not saying you're not good, but that don't determine how good you is just because you're a Danny or not. Like, y'all don't have to go by a damn list. If anything, if I see the damn list, I see my name not on there. Okay, I got something to prove. I need somebody. I need to wake somebody up. I'm finna go get in the gym. I'm finna go run a couple sprints. I'm finna shoot a couple free throws, get a couple shots up. Man, I tell y'all one thing I did this summer. Well, was it this summer? We went and played at ULM, and I went 5 from 6 from the free throw line. The 3-point line, I went 5 from 6. And you know what? I went satisfied. So you know what I did? When we got back to Jones, I went in the gym and put up 1,000 shots. It still made 70%. Late at night by myself on the gun, 1,000 shots. I went 5 from 6 now. 5 from 6. Don't let none of that. I wasn't satisfied. Obviously, good basketball players not gonna rest. Like, you gonna go work out and prove your point to people. So don't let that bother y'all. Not being on the Danny Dozen list, not having no stars. Disregard what people say. Just let them talk, man. Let the ball do the talking. I wouldn't talk better at these folks. I let that ball do the talking. That's all you need.
I definitely heard you a gym rat. I heard several times from your coaches at Jones that you be in the gym almost every time I talked to one of them. You was the person that was in the gym that they was. I'm getting the gym open right now to get some shots over Jakayla. So that says
And
a
that's
lot
what
about
we have. Like, that's what we having difficulties with right now, because with them building a program around me here at Jones, my second year, everything was built around me, and it's like now with me being gone, we gotta find a way. We got somebody else got to step up, man. Somebody else got to step up to the plate, and that's what me, Coach Bitterback, Coach Coop, Coach Key, Coach Pitts. That's what we all trying to do right now. Trying to see who really wants it, man. Who really wants to be on the court, man. Who gonna step up to the plate? Who gonna be that Jakayla Johnson late at night, standing in the gym, early morning in the gym, getting shots?
Let me ask you this, okay? Because I'm right now. I'm in my 6th month of my first year at the women's Division 1 level down here in Mississippi Valley State, and you said something that, like, you just said so much. There's a mouthful. When did you, and how did you start? Who's gonna be there? Now, see, here's Eddie Young coming on the show late, and then he doesn't have the respect enough to put his thing on mute. He's talking to his kids. Like, what goes on in your mind, man? We got a special young lady on here. I mean, hundreds of people are watching, and then you come on the show with your big head, and it's like you just mess up our whole train of thought. Can you at least respect us and have your thing on mute, please, sir? So anyway, back to you, Jakayla. How and when did you get to work that thing? How did you develop that? Because we have to almost beg kids, and I'm not just saying here at Valley, but most places. I've been at Jackson State, I've been at Millsaps, I've been all over the country, especially even on the boys' side, most mainly on the boys' side. How did you develop that work ethic, and what makes you want to go in the gym? Like, where did that come from? Because that's so admirable.
That's a good question. I really don't know. Like, I really don't know what made me like just be like, okay, you know what? I'm finna go get in the gym. Like, I really haven't really just figured it out. Still to this day, I ask myself, like, what makes me I want it. I think what it is, I'm in love with basketball. And I just want it more than anybody else do. I think that's what it really is. Like, I'm hungry. I want more. Like, it ain't enough for me. I just want more. And that's what I think. That's what I really do think it is. I'm hungry. I have
And
more left in me. I'm not at my highest level. I feel like I got more to go.
let me ask you this, and not to put not trying to, because whether you tell me or not, I already know the answer to this. But how many would you say on your team at Jones and even Clinton, in your opinion, was hungry like you? Like just like you, had your work ethic, yours. Not anybody else's, yours. How many would you say?
Ooh. Coach,
Just be honest. It's okay, because at the end of the day, it is what it is. I know the answer, but I just want to. I need you to say it, because, like, people need to hear that. Kids need to hear. Hey, we always talk about keep it 100, keep it a buck. Just
yes, sir.
go ahead and keep it 100. How many would you say?
I can't remember from Clinton. I don't think it was none. I can't remember from Clinton. I don't think it was none.
We know it wasn't many. So how many at Jones? You can remember
Okay,
Jones.
well, my first year, I can't say the kid that said Clemson.
Okay.
And so she was, and the shooter that we had, number 4, Kira, she was in the gym a lot. So it was us, and then one of our post players, India. She at West Carolina. So those kids got in the gym. But this year, I can say my leadership has been contagious. Like, being in the gym, guess who stayed? You wouldn't believe who stays in the gym with me late after practice and stuff, or who I done took under my wings here at Jones. AP from Meridian.
Okay, I can see that.
Man,
I can see that too.
I can see that.
Literally, like, when she saw me staying in the gym, this girl the next day, okay, Kayla, what we got? What we doing today? Stay in the gym, man. I'm like, okay, we gonna do this. We running. I'm talking about, if we don't do something right, we getting our run. We getting our conditioning in. She right behind me doing it. And Mac, those kids, like I said, I got kids here that looks up to me. So now with me leaving, they like, what I'm gonna do? I said, I'm still gonna call Coach Pitt, and I'm still gonna ask her, you still standing in that gym? Is you still doing what you need to do? And one of the kids, who I think she's a 3rd-year kid though, Jordan, she goes in the gym in the morning time. Like, her thing, she not a nighttime kid. So I can say she get her shots early in the morning. But me, AP, and Matt, we go at night. So
you know what? And again, and it's not so much to put the other kids on the spot, because this is a all across the country thing. You only have a few people. See, this is what I was telling this big head dude, Eddie Young, the other day. I was telling him, I mean, just look how big. And then I'm just looking at his eyebrow. Like, what's going on in your head right there, man? Like, from my angle, it's like you got wrinkles. It's like your brain trying to pop out your head. Man, calm down. You thinking too much right now. I mean, ease off your brain right now. So, but anyway, I was telling him that, see, that's the epitome of a dog. That's a goon, somebody who just, like, and you said it, you are in love with the game.
mm-hmm.
And it's not, to be honest with you, there are just not many kids that are in love with the game. They are talented, they can play the game, but they are not in love with the game. They're not really like that invested. And if all of them, you think about how good what you guys are. You're undefeated, or you were undefeated. I think you may have lost the game, but
We
whatever.
lost Saturday.
Top 5 in the country. You have one of the best records in the last 5-6 years than anybody in the state. And talent after talent has come in, but yet and still, there's not been 100% investment at being the best you can be. So it's proven that you can still play at a high level and win and not have everybody invested. Why do you think, because that is something that I'm gonna let Eddie, I know he's just itching. I can see his brain speaking to me, let me talk. and so, I mean, I can hear it. Let me talk. So why do you feel your generation, because when I played, and I'm the oldest one on the show, and Chuck's probably next, when we played, there was no such thing as everybody played hard. There was no such thing as what you have and what people have as a motor. Everybody had a motor. Why do you feel this generation is not in love with the game like you are?
A lot of kids do enough. A lot of people do enough just to get by. That's it. Like, that's literally what a lot of them want. I hear that all the time. Like, what are your goals? Like, what do you want to do? Do you want to play at the highest level? Like, what you want to do? Oh no, I just want to do enough just to get by. Like, huh? I'm doing enough just to get by. Like you're wasting your time, or I'm just gonna stay on the team just to get my degree and stuff like that. Like, I that stuff just don't sit right with me. They don't sit right.
So you can't even find an answer yourself with your own peers. You don't have an answer why they do that. Eddie, jump in. We've already covered the 3 ACLs. We know that you were somewhere eating at a dinner. We've already mentioned that you are in line for the Big Head of America contest, and we've told everybody on live chat to put in congratulations, Big Head Eddie, and they're supposed to be doing it on live chat. But welcome, Eddie Young, and congratulations on you being first team all Big Head in the country. I know that you're going to be up for Big Head Player of the Year, but congratulations. But please jump on in, sir.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Listen, I've been having some issues with my phone, so can y'all hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. What's up, Jakayla? Listen.
What's up, Coach?
Listen, I'm glad to have you on the show tonight. And of course, I know you've been kind of talking a little bit about your story. And I have a Jakayla Johnson story too. One of the best stories I got is when you were playing with us when we combined the Bobcats with MHSP, and we had kind of did the merger thing, and you had got hurt right before the AAU travel season. I want to say maybe January or February, like right before district play. I guess that was your senior year.
February, yes, sir.
Yeah, your junior year. I'm sorry. And
yes,
so whenever me and Coach Wilson had bought that big yellow bus, and so we had practice in Louisville. We had a practice in Louisville, Mississippi. And so we had about 30 girls, and then some of the kids had missed the bus. And so when we got to Louisville, we was looking for I don't know who all you had in the car with you, but there was several kids that didn't make it to practice. So Wilson get to talk, Coach, I don't know where these girls at, man. And so Jakayla showed up with about 3 or 4 teammates. Now, taking granted that the kid had already had an injury, knew she probably wasn't going to play any AAU basketball with us that season. But she is a selfless person. She's not selfish. And so listening to her talk about how a lot of the kids follow leaders, because I'm going to tell you something. There's 2 types of people in this world, leaders and followers. And you're definitely a born leader. And so, but I was telling Coach Bilderback about this the other day, how you went and picked those girls up. You made sure that they got to practice. They missed the bus. But you were able to go grab them, go sit in practice 3 hours, and just be there the whole entire season. And the support that you had for those kids just really sold me on you as a person. And so not very many girls are going to do that, because hell, I'll be honest with you, they don't want to come to practice when they playing. They damn sure ain't gonna be in practice when they not playing. So that told me that you were going to be a special person. And you've got an intangible that a lot of kids don't have. And I think that's what separates you from a lot of the kids. There's kids that have been In my 12 or 13 years of doing this, that have been more talented than you. There's kids that have had more physical attributes than you. But I say this with all the confidence in the world. If I'm betting on one kid of all the kids that I've had and all the kids I've seen, I'm betting with you solely on your work ethic and your passion and desire for the game. It really gives me goosebumps. Jakayla, when she came back during COVID, I told her one time, I told Chuck this, and I think Coach Hobart, I said, hey, Jakayla, if you ever want to get in the gym anytime in the morning, anytime at night, and hell, I didn't know I was making, I really put my foot in my mouth when I said that. And I say, you just give me a call and I'll come open the gym. And, I got a newborn baby. So Jakayla hit me up about 12 o'clock at night one time and say, hey, coach, look, what you doing? I want to get in the gym. Woke the baby up and I'm like, man, it's 12 o'clock, but I promised the kids. So I say, Jakayla, can we meet at 6 o'clock in the morning? She said, that's fine, coach. And I got there about 5:45 and the kid was already at the gym. Like, think about that. She calls you at midnight to open the gym.
That's a lie. You lied. You lied. You got there after 6 o'clock. You tried to say you got there at 5:45. You know you wasn't on time, Eddie. You just told that lie. You wasn't there at 5:45. You ain't been early for nothing. That's not that line. You was there at 6:05, 5 minutes late, and the girl been waiting on you for a half hour.
Whatever time I got there, she beat me to the gym. That's for sure. And so,
of course.
but that's a testament to the kid, man. We all pulling for you. A kid who had no stars by their name, no Dandy Does, and no All-State, to be able to accomplish what you've been able to accomplish, it's been next to amazing. And like you said, Jakayla, God ain't finished with you yet. Your best is yet to come, baby. And we just all behind you because you got, like I told you the other day, you got Mississippi on your back. And you next up for Mississippi. So you're paving the way for a lot of girls. And I think that you are an incredible inspiration to all of the kids who are going through injuries right now. And as Chuck was saying earlier, just being able to persevere through all of your adversity says a lot about your character. Because let me tell you something about life. Life is easy when everything is good, but you really see people's true character when they are battle tested, when they're, you know what I mean? Like what you're going through because I can't even imagine going through one ACL when I played ball, the fact that you're going through three and recovering and still got a smile on your face. You're still in good spirit. Hell, my whole family was in tears the night when we found out, and I called you the next day, and heck, you lifted me up. You know what I mean? So you are a special person, and I say it publicly. You know how I feel about you. And I just wish you nothing but the best. And Coach Johnny Harrison and that coaching staff is not only getting a great basketball player, they getting a phenomenal person. So I wish you nothing but the best, my girl.
Eddie, I want to go back to something you said. I think it's very important, and I think that we need to hear. You said when she called you, and your family was in tears, and that says a lot about the value what you mean to a director, a friend, someone that you respect. You said that your family was in tears and she called you and lifted you up. Is that what you said?
Yeah, the next day I called and to check on her and stuff, and she was so upbeat to me, man. I was like,
no, Eddie, no. I just want to say, you said she lifted you up. I just need to correct you in that. What did she lift you with, a crane? Because it's
Hey, look, Jakayla. Hey, look, Jakayla. Hey, look, I gave
as heavy as your head is. What did she lift you with? I mean, are you talking about? You weren't talking about physically. You were talking about like your spirit. Because there's no way she was able to lift you up. See, I gotta correct. I'm not gonna let you just come on here, Eddie, and just say any old thing. She lifted me up. No, she didn't. It would have took her and the whole Jones team to lift you up. But anyway, I'm sorry.
He in the zone right now tonight, boy. I'm telling you, he giving it to me. I gave him strike two. Look, I gave him strike two.
Hot tonight, man.
Yeah, he on one tonight, coach, but he always know. He know how this end. Look, he know how this finna end tonight. So we're gonna let him have his way. But go ahead, Jakayla. You were gonna say something earlier about.
I don't remember what I was gonna say. Y'all so funny. Y'all so funny, man. I forgot what I was finna say. I had something to say. I forgot what it was.
I hope you
But now,
remember it. Like
hey,
it.
hey,
Hey, Eddie, let me ask you. No, all seriously, but no, Jakayla, you've been such an inspiration not only to us tonight and to the people listening, but just to everybody's heard your story. And we are excited. Like Eddie said, we are behind you, and because we want to see you make it. And I'm excited. I'm in agreement that you will be the SEC Player of the Year in one of your 4 years at Auburn. I believe that you'll be in. I know you talked about you'll play in the league one day, all of that. So I know you got that on your mind. So I'm just like, I'm not gonna bet against you. So I'm excited about your future and what God has in store. And I love the God geek, that geeks me. I love when we hear the God geek.
I got to acknowledge him in everything I do, even on free throws. I just have to, like, cause just like he can give that to you, he can easily like take that away from you.
Wow.
Just like he gave it to you. So I don't see how, like, that's why when people meet me and stuff, like they say I touch them every time they see me or they just hear me talk. Like, I'm not just talking just to talk. I'm a testimony. I'm a true testimony. I've been through so much that people couldn't imagine, that I know people probably can't get through, but I'm still here and I'm still smiling. I'm still touching hearts out here, And I feel like that was my purpose here on earth, is to help other people, is to be inspired to other people. Like, I've gotten older and I've gotten to the point where God has told me what my purpose here on earth. I've figured out what my purpose here on earth is to do. I don't care if nobody don't do it back to me, because I don't need nobody. God is the only one I need. So, and without him, I'm nothing. So I don't care if people don't be in my life. Like y'all said, y'all behind me, I love it. That means something to me. That means I'm doing something right. Like, it's many people out here that tell you that, man, and be lying the whole time. They'll just, so. But I know who real love and fake love. I know the difference between that. Plus, I can't say, this what I had to say that was on my mind to say. I can't say when I came to one of your practices, coach, right before I was a freshman at Jones, and I was there at y'all practice. And I can say you told Coach Charles, you told Coach Felton, you told Coach what his name is, the other coach Holbert. You told them, you said, this kid right here is gonna be an All-American, JUCO, All-American. And guess what I was? All-American. You did, you spoke that over me, and it happened, Coach.
Look at Eddie. You done got something ready. Eddie, you got one right.
Hey, listen, man. Hey, we don't want to. We don't need. I don't need no cheerleaders at all. I don't need no cheerleaders at all.
Hey, Eddie, you know what?
I'm sort of a prophet. I prophesize that in Jakayla. You claim to be this pastor or preacher, whatever you're doing, and all you do is just eat church's chicken on Sunday. You really good at that. But I ain't never heard no real good sermon or nothing that you've ever done. But anyway, now that and look, Jakayla, that's a testament of you and your hard work and your character and like you say, perseverance. So we've all seen some great things in you, and I just think the future's bright. And this is just a test, because again, you're gonna overcome this, and anything that any obstacle in your life, I think you're gonna overcome it. So I'm just glad that.
I said the same thing. I said I wanted to ask questions like Coach Missy and Coach Billy back now. They was like, please just wake me up. Like I was telling Coach now, they were saying wake them up from the nightmare, because I could walk. Like I have no sweat in my leg at all. I could walk. It doesn't hurt. And it's minor, like it's very small. Like this crazy, but hey.
Well, I talked with Missy, and Missy was crying her butt off last week, man, when I talked to her.
Oh my God.
But yeah, so we good, and I just think Auburn, again, like I said, they are getting a special gym, and in the state, and you're an example. It's one thing to talk it. We don't see you got a whole lot of videos, out there on, a lot of these kids on social media. Every time they do something, they putting a video out, but you're doing it, behind the scenes. And to me, that's when it really matters, when nobody's watching. You're still putting in the work and doing it, and God honors hard work. So, man, just keep the mentality that you have, and you can't help but, you got God on your side. You can't help but be successful. So,
yes, sir.
yeah.
But I always, that's my favorite thing to do. Like, my thing is, God help me to be that light in somebody's darkness. Like, you never know what somebody may going through. That's why I'm glad y'all invited me on the show to talk. Like, somebody could be on here that's going through the same thing or going through something, and I'm here to like lighten their life up, to be the light in their life, like to just make them be encouraged and believe in themselves and have confidence.
Light in the dark world. That's awesome. Well, Jakayla, we've enjoyed you. You're welcome to stay on. We're going to continue the show and finish up with a little bit of Tangle on the Trail news, and Eddie's going to enlighten us on some, and Cord and Charles is going to talk about some dandy stuff. Like I said, you can jump in and just stay in if you like. I know you're busy. You may have to go. Are you still able to go in the gym and just shoot around? Or are you still doing like?
I'm gonna tell y'all, when I out of all my ACLs, this is what I do. I do not sit down. I have to have a ball. This is how dedicated I am. So what I do is I get a chair and I just sit in that chair and I just shoot and go. I just sit in there and I just shoot. Coach Pitt caught me one time in the gym when I recently toured. And I'm just in the gym, sitting in that chair. I'm going all around the rim. I'm just shooting. I'm working on my form. I'm always back at the free throw line shooting. I just shoot. I have to touch the ball. I can't. Like, it's just something about me not touching the ball. So that's what I do. I just sit in the chair and shoot now. That's how I get my shots up. I know this sounds weird, but that's how I get my
it sounds like you obsessed with the game, with basketball. And that's what you want. We need some upset. Matter of fact, it sounds like fatal attraction. She's fatal attracted to that thing. That's like, and that's rare. I'm telling you, okay. And you said it earlier. It's rare. Like, it ain't many kids like that. Imagine if every team had Jakayla Johnson on their team, how much better the team would be. And so that's a testament, to you. So again, thank you for your story. If anybody has any comments on the live chat or questions they want to ask Jakayla, go ahead and jump in. I just see Coach Farley said something that I can't hardly believe. I just hope she's wrong. She said that you weren't even chosen for the Mississippi-Alabama game either in high school. Which is absolutely ridiculous. You go to the state championship, you make one mistake, but we don't get the dandy, and then she doesn't make the Mississippi-Alabama game. Well, but you know what? It doesn't matter, because back then they may not have wanted you, but everybody now know who you are, and they will know who you are, and they will continue to know who you are and whose you are. So that's all that matters, and so that's exciting. But so as we begin to shift, Eddie, I know Eddie, Cord, and Charles, you guys was at the event, the big event yesterday, the Tangle on the Trail, where a lot of
hey, shut up, man! You do too much slow talking, man. It's late at night. Listen, so first off, Kyle Hurd, shout out to you and the Rotary Club. You guys did a remarkable job. I've been going to the Tangle for the past several years. It is one of the best events from top to bottom in the state of Mississippi. And man, just shout out to you guys and the host, Pontotoc High School, man. That was a great event. A lot of great matchups and stuff like that. So we ain't got time for all this slow talking, man. It's 9:40, 9:35.
You're just like the hospitality room. That's what you told me you like the best about it. That's why you talk about shout out to them. You excited about the hospitality. You weren't excited about it's the best. Hold on. You had the best meatballs you ever had. That's what it was.
Hey, Chuck, you think that's funny? You think this dude a comedian or something? Why you laughing, man? You think that's funny?
Hey, Coach, he in rare form tonight, man. I have to laugh, man, to keep the viewers on, man.
Yeah. What you think? How on the funny scale from 1 to 10, what would you rate there? Because you laughing pretty hard over there, Coach.
Tonight, Coach, he about an 8, man. I'm not gonna be honest with you. Tonight, last week he was too, though, Coach. I wasn't on, but I told V that I don't know if he's been practicing or what, man. He been doing it pretty good, man.
Yeah. But anyway, several really great games. Cordarius, you can jump in whenever you get ready. I know we actually caught the end of the Choctaw Central game. Madison Bell was which was the second game of the day. Madison Bell from Choctaw Central was the player of the game. She's a phenomenal 2024 kid who can shoot the basketball. She's tough, tenacious, and one of the better guards in that class. So Mariah Reed Jones was the MVP in the first game. I believe Lafayette and Kasuth played in that particular game. So Cordarius, I don't know when you got there. But early on, I think the third game when we got there, Coach, after the Choctaw Central game was help me out, Chuck. Who was that? I don't have it in front of me.
It was the Hobart sisters.
That's
wasn't
right.
it?
That's right. Puckett was on a pretty good winning streak, and this would have been their first true test of a quality opponent, and they kind of came out in that game with their press. They have been disrupting everybody all season with the pressure, and Ingomar did a pretty good job of handling the pressure, and kind of got a pretty good lead. And Holly Moncrief backed out of it. Of course, I told Chuck that Puckett would go on a run, and they did. They went on a run and kind of got back in that game and made it interesting. But Macy Pfeiffer was a woman amongst girls. I mean, she's the number 2 rated 2025 in the state of Mississippi. She holds multiple Division I offers, and she's a special player, multi-sport athlete, and you could just tell that particular day she looked like the best player on the floor on either side. Amira Hobart had been playing really well for Puckett. She's got multiple college offers as well. She's a 2022 prospect, a top 20 kid in her class, and didn't have her best shooting night. She had a lot of really good shots that just kind of went in and popped out. She still ended up, I think, with close to double figures in scoring. But Albany Hobart did really well off the bench for Puckett in that particular game. Chuck, what did you see? Corey, you wasn't at that Puckett game, were you, Ingomar?
No, I didn't make it to the Olive Branch Holmes County game.
Okay. Chuck, what did you see about the Puckett and Ingomar game? What was your takeaways from that?
Pretty much, Coach, kind of echoing what you said. I thought that Amira Hobart, played pretty well. She was really aggressive. I saw that they came out, Coach Moncrief came out with a really good game plan, but kind of as you stated that Macy Pfeiffer was just, she's just a different maker. I think she hit 3 or 4 3-pointers, which is something, that was not saying lacking from her game, but she did show yesterday that she has worked on her outside shot, and I think she ended with 33 points. So, like I said, I think it was a really good game, and like I said, I think Puckett will rebound from this and go back to the drawing board and continue on.
And that's important that you bring that up about Pfeiffer, Chuck. One thing I'm always looking at, and I know Cordarius, you do this as well. When you see a kid and obviously when you watch them play, and then you go back to watch them play, especially if it's a big gap between the last time you seen them play, because I hadn't seen Macy play since the summer, and the one thing that was inconsistent in her game, as you project her at the next level, is her inability to hit the outside shot consistently. And even when she's shooting it, sometimes she missed really bad. But man, her jump shot looks like it has improved a whole lot. And like as Chuck alluded to, she knocked down several jump shots. So now that she's being able to extend her game beyond the perimeter, that's really scary. And that shows that either one, she's been working on it, she's improved on it. And that says, and she looks like she's gotten a little bit taller too. She looks like she's right at 6 feet tall too. I know she's grown 5'8", 5'9", and 5'10", look like she's grown, right at about 6 feet tall. So she's a good looking prospect, and one of the better players in the state of Mississippi,
Yeah,
no doubt.
I think 25 they got 3 monster prospects for the future in their class. Jay Rugger, Macy Pfeiffer, and Caitlin Hall, them some monsters. Like them are some monster kids that's gonna play on a high level. Like they special talent. Caitlin Hall is putting up crazy numbers. She getting better. I mean, hey, the kid, she's something different too. I don't know how much you caught her, but that girl putting up double doubles, 20 games, stuff like that. Like that class gonna be special though. I can't wait to see that growth for that class right there, 2025 class.
Caitlin Hall could be. I agree with you, Cord. When the dust settles, she could easily be the best player in that class. Like it wouldn't surprise me at all. She could most definitely be the best player in that class. But yeah, I know several college coaches was up there with myself and Chuck, and just was really impressed with Amira, how she moved without, even though she didn't have her best game, you could really see that Amira Hobart her confidence level right now is through the roof. And I do want to take a second to shout out Holly Moncrief. She has done a tremendous job. I think she's probably one of the top 5 coaches in our state in terms of being able to balance being a player's coach while also being able to get in kids' butts. So that's important. A lot of times you can be a player's coach, too much so where your kids don't respect you. But all of her kids really, really respect her. And she's done a tremendous job with the transfers. And Auburn and Hobart and Amira are just playing with supreme confidence. Riley Rankin, the other senior that she has that has several offers, a couple of offers, I should say, didn't have her better game either. They didn't shoot the ball really well. But I'll talk about my take on the 2A towards the end of the thing, because my opinion of 2A has shifted, even though I'll just say it, even though Puckett lost yesterday, and I got a chance to really see Belmont. I told Chuck, I don't think Belmont's going to beat Puckett. It's between those two. I think they're in a crash course collision for 2A, even though you do have the the Lakes of the world and some teams like that. I think 1A is going to come down to Bay Springs and obviously Ingomar and some other new site and some people. But Ingomar is a lot better than what I thought. The Bird kid, the freshman kid, is really gritty and grimy, and so they're definitely going to be a team to watch out for. And Katie, I don't know if Katie Beth Hall, is she coming back before the season is out, court, or is she done for the season?
I think she come back late January.
Okay, so if you get Katie Beth Hall late in the season with what they already got, they got a couple of players that I didn't even know. Of course, they lost the Johnson sisters. But man, Ingomar is Ingomar, and they gonna be right there for the picking. But in 2A, I'm gonna go ahead and go out on a limb since I got a chance to see Belmont and Puckett. I believe that it's closer than what we all originally thought with Belmont and Puckett. And I would say after watching both teams, just purely because of matchups only, I believe Puckett's gonna win 2A this year.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it, please. There's no way you can go out on any limb. There's no limb that can hold you.
Hey, Eddie. Hey, are you a host or a comedian, man? Ain't nobody laughing.
You cannot go out on a limb. And breaking news, we have the great Missy Bilderbeck has jumped into our conversation. And so we're going to put a pin in you. We need about 50,000 acupuncture pins for you to fill them. But anyway, we're going to put pins in you, and we're going to welcome in one of the best coaches in America right here that has graced our presence, the great Missy Bilderbeck. How are you, Coach?
I am good, Evie. How are you guys? You are too funny.
We're doing wonderful. Listen,
hey, Missy. Hey,
Coach.
Hey, do you mean funny, ha, or funny like like funny.
You are the most entertaining. Yeah, you guys are awesome. So first of all, thank you guys for what y'all do. Like this just brings so much, and even tonight with Jakayla, just being able to shed a light on her story and just people to be able to see, her smile and understand, just what she's been through and how she's handled it and battled this. But you guys are, just awesome. And I wanted to thank you guys for all that you do for the sport of women's basketball and in our state and the kids. And so, but no, y'all, you guys are a trip for sure though.
Coach, go ahead and tell us, as we want to definitely get you an opportunity to share, take us through, obviously you've coached this game for a long time. Just tell us the thought process of Jakayla, the impact she's had on you as a person, as a coach, and as your program, and then how she's handled this great adversity. Then we'll get back to Eddie on the other.
Well, the thing about Kayla is a lot of kids just talk about being great and they talk about things and all the things she said on the show here. I mean, she actually, her actions always speak louder than her words. She really, truly, all the things she's saying, she does. She lives in that gym, lives in it. And she led our team by doing that. But more than anything, she's just a great person to be around. She was kidding about me crying and coach me crying in there. And that's true because we were upset she was hurt, obviously for our team and for Kayla more than anything, just having to deal with that again. I think she thought that was her past, and she had moved on. But when we worked it all out for her to go to Auburn and, Coach Harris, and we got on the phone with them and they all got involved, it was like, oh, wow, Kayla's leaving this week, and it's more about just the day to day. She comes by and she's got a big smile and she leads with positivity and never has a bad day, and so she's obviously an incredible player, but like Coach said, she's really just an even better person. That's also true. And, you don't get to coach kids like Jakayla Johnson every day. Those are once in a lifetime type kids. And so we're very grateful for her impact at Jones, not only on the court, but just the culture of our program. And just the way she's led these young kids, I know they're going to want to step up for her. I know AP's on here right now and some of my other girls, they're going to want to step up. And, she's been a great leader for them. And but she's got big things ahead of her. You guys are right. Her best basketball is ahead. Thankfully, she chose Auburn. I mean, I couldn't see her going to a better place. Coach Johnny and that staff, I mean, they have just jumped right in. There was never a question. It was like, hey, what can we do to help? And so she's going to have great support around her. And so we're excited for her moving forward. You don't want her sitting around here, outsource. We got to outsource our PT and, we're a JUCO. That's how it is. She's going to have the best doctors and trainers in the world, underwater treadmills, whatever she needs to get back. And that's what she needs to do for her. So we're excited, that she can go on and that this can be the past,
Well, we would be remiss. We have to ask you this question. Losing a first team All-American, losing about 18 points, 5 rebounds, 5 steals, and a big shot maker.
Right.
Obviously you guys, I think you lost your first game.
Right.
Recently.
Yeah.
How do you, talk to me about that, the adjustments you have to make and, how can you guys, continue to, do what you do, which is
right. Well, injuries are part of the game, unfortunately. And obviously you don't replace Jakayla. You don't replace Kayla. You can't, Jakayla Johnson, we're not going to say, but you do have to have a mentality of, I told our kids, we've got to do it by committee, we don't expect anybody to come in and be, Jakayla get 18 and 9 every night. And, that's not what we're asking. But, the things that Jakayla does, we do have to have that leadership of, hey, just that positive, culture building, that those intangibles that she brings to practice every day. We've got to step up there and kids have to emerge as leaders. I've seen Mackenzie Thomas step up already, in the weekend. She had 14 and 16 on Saturday. Olivia Knight had 30 on Friday and a big win. So I know this group's capable. Melanie Timms just became eligible for us, transfer. So Melanie will be, with us. She was a great player, last year, obviously at Choctaw Central. And obviously AP's been really good all year. Jakayla White. I mean, we still have players, you know. So, you know, and yeah, I just hope that, you know, our kids, you know, the biggest thing I think right now is just, I think we're more heartbroken that she's moving on, you know, although we know that's what's best for her. Like I went to the dorm a second ago to check on them, you know, after practice, and you know, one of our kids was in there teary-eyed as Jakayla's packing, you know. And so I think that impact, obviously the on the court impact, but those kids are a big family, and we kind of prepare ourselves at the end of the year, like, hey, we all moving on. And even as coaches, you know, we prepare ourselves to let these kids go, and like you would as parents, you know. And that's been the hardest part, honestly, is seeing her, you know, initial reaction to the ACL. But we know Jakayla's going to be okay. We just going to miss her, you know. So, but yeah, my team, they're going to be fine. I mean, obviously, it's a big loss for us, but I believe in our team. I believe in our kids. We're going to, hey, there's no quit in this bunch. So, you know, it's just another challenge. We're going to step up and attack it with a mindset of, you know, people got to step up. We got to do it by committee. And, you know, even in our loss, you know, we were playing at Chipola, #2 team in the country. I mean, we kind of hit a buzzsaw. Didn't catch any breaks early. It was a kind of a combination of a couple things. We really haven't had a chance to get back in practice and readjust. As Kayla said earlier, clearly we built, you know, she's one of the top players, and I believe the best player in the country. You know, I'll go ahead and say that in JUCO. And so when you lose her, we're going to have to readjust some things. We may have to do some things a little different, but at the end of the day, you know, that's my job to get them ready. And I know my girls aren't going to quit, and Kayla wouldn't let them quit, you know. So we're gonna come back. We're gonna fight. We're gonna be okay, Evie. I think that. So
that's awesome. Well, there's no doubt in my mind that you will. You know, you right now, like, hey, as far as JUCO women's go, and I know some people may not like me say it, but I just keep it real. You own the state, and so you know you own it right now. I know you're not gonna say it, Coach. So you don't have to go through, but don't give me the loopholes. You and Lauren Pittman always want to. Oh, Coach, we're just trying to get better every day. Well, we're only 16-0, but we're trying to get better every day. I don't know if we can win this year. Oh my God, you know, I don't want to hear all that, Miss.
Yeah.
So no, we're not gonna let you talk like that.
I know what you mean. But I appreciate you saying that for sure. But we you know, we've got great kids, and we're gonna continue to, you know, try to believe in our kids, empower our kids. And, you know, when you got great players, it makes you a good coach, you know. And thankfully, we've not only got great players, but great kids who live a positive, you know, our culture's strong. And that's the thing. And that's from our kids. You don't have great culture without great character kids. And that's what we got right now. I believe in the kids that we have leading this team. Coach can tell you, Coach Young can tell you that Olivia Knight's special, you know. And she is special, and we've got great character, and Kayla's gonna be there. That's what I told her. No doubt we'll you know, we'll still have our calls. She'll be there. I wouldn't be surprised her showing up anytime she can. I know we'll go to Auburn, see her, and you know, she's still part of our team spirit and our team for sure.
Coach, let me ask you something. This just hit me, and I'm gonna say this. This is gonna be a question that I'd like to know. Obviously, you know, I'm coaching at the D1 level, the low Division I, but the young lady you referred to, who's Olivia Knight, she's about how tall? 4'11", 5 feet? Like
maybe. Yep.
She goes to you know, she committed and signed with Old Dominion.
Right.
And, you know, Coach Felton over there happens to have a daughter who is special. I'm not going to call her name because I can't do that per se, but I know she's special, and she's short. She's, you know, smaller stature. Well, tell us, how did you convince a mid-major like Old Dominion to take a chance on Olivia Knight? You know, like, or did you have like because let's just face it, if she's 6 feet, you don't even have her. She's probably, you know, big time, and I feel that same way about Chuck's daughter. But how, you know, just to encourage those young ladies who, you know, they can't control their height. Talk to me about what you've seen and a little bit and how she was able to garner that scholarship.
Right. Yeah, I think the thing with Little Bit is that she sells herself, you know. I don't think it's as much. I think the biggest thing, you know, she got in front of the right people. Coach D, the head coach at Old Dominion, was probably the greatest player to ever play at the University of Florida. Tremendous player, played in the league for a long time. And the one thing about Coach is she just really respects kids. She's beyond, she looks beyond all that. You know, she sees kids. She saw Olivia Knight's intangibles. She saw that kid never stops talking on the court, you know, has an unbelievable motor. She came to practice, sat in practice, and she was sold from day one. You know, I didn't have to, I'm telling her, look, Coach, I know she's small, but Coach Missy, you don't have to sell me. I believe in her, you know, just from watching her, the way she led our practices. So, but I will say, yeah, a lot of people write a little bit off, you know, and but you know, the thing is, she's got incredible intangibles. I think just getting her in the right, in front of the right people, but also just, you know, it was really important for me, you know, in trying to make sure she found somebody that truly believed in her, not somebody that's just going to take her, you know, somebody that really wanted her and believed in her and saw all the greatness that's in her, you know what I mean, Coach? And so that's
well,
the
here's
thing.
what let
Yeah.
me jump in. You said something that's critical. And I've talked to Charles about, Coach Felton about this, and I want to talk to any young kid that's watching. The first thing that you said that she saw was how she talked. Communication is critical. Do you agree that if she wasn't a talker or a leader, does she, with her, because of her restriction on size, does she garner that attention without the talking?
I think you're exactly right. I think those things outweigh being a little bit small, you know, because you want your point guard to be that coach on the floor, you know, but more than anything, you win with people like little bit Jakayla, those kids that they just have great attitude, great intangibles, and, you know, they know how to win. And so, yes, absolutely 100%. I mean, I would never bet against little bit, but the fact that she has those things, absolutely. It kind of helped outweigh the fact that maybe she is a little small. Absolutely. There's not a value as a college coach, you know, on just kids that do that. I mean, you see their stock, and as college coaches come into our gym, you know, we try to coach our kids on, hey guys, you know, you've got to make sure you do the little things. They notice that. They'll mark you off. You don't say a word in practice, you don't get a touch, you don't do those things. They don't want any part of that, you know. So there's a great value in that, and certainly help a little bit. Just, but that's who she is. That's not fake. Coach Young knows, you know, that Coach Young knows that's who she is. She's that every single day.
And that is so important. One of the things that we have here is communication is your protection. You gotta communicate on the floor. That is you can argue, if you're looking at intangibles, it is the single most important thing that a team needs is communication. And it is one of the teams, every losing team, I guarantee you, is a poor communicating team. If you have, they don't communicate well. The winning teams communicate. There's like, now you may get away with it in high school, but as you go up in levels, championship teams communicate. Would you agree with that, Coach?
Absolutely. And on and off the court, you know, when you know, off the court, you don't communicate, you know, usually people assume the negative when you're not communicating off the court, right? And then on the court, communication, we tell our kids all the time, it solves all mistakes. Like, you know, if you communicate through it, in defensive possession, you know, you could totally mess it up, but you're going to be able to fix it in time by communicating early, you know? And so we talk about that. You just got to be, and just in general, I think it just builds trust, and, you know, for us coaches, but also for the players, you know, you want to play with other players that are going to talk through things, and just hey, the ability to allow someone to communicate with you, you know, oh, okay, I got you. I got to switch that next time, or, hey, you know, that kind of stuff too.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you jumping on. We're gonna, we're gonna have you back later in the year when I'm gonna do a show with, you know, JUCO coaches, and definitely want to have you on there. I appreciate you coming on, talking about Jakayla, and I gotta shift this thing back to Eddie. If not,
I got you. Hey, look.
His head is about to explode. I can see it. Do you see it? Look, no, look right there. Look at like right there. It's like his right brain, like the right side of his brain is like I need to say something. I'm hungry. And the left side is like I'm hungry. And then the right side, I need to say something. I'm hungry. I mean, he's battling right there. So I can see it. So Eddie, do you have anything to say to
I just want to say, Coach, listen, I'm not gonna entertain any of that nonsense, Coach. You know how I feel about you and what you've done, the standard that you've set in the state of Mississippi for girls basketball and putting this state at the forefront, man. It's admirable what you've done. I've said it to you once. I say it a million times and publicly. I just want to let you know you guys are doing a tremendous job. Listen, Jakayla's a big time player, no doubt. You know how I feel about her, but I ain't betting against you guys being able to make a run deep, Coach. And I know you took a tough loss against Chipola. Hopefully, we'll get a chance to see them again. But if there's anybody that can get it done and get over this hurdle, listen, it wouldn't surprise me if this be the year that you guys can pull it off. So we with y'all 100%, man. You continue to do what you're doing, Coach. And you just done a remarkable job for the state of Mississippi. And we just so honored to have you on the show tonight.
Well, thank you guys for your kind words, and thank y'all for all you do, and thank y'all so much for having the greatest Jakayla Johnson on this show, because I thank y'all for doing that, because she is incredibly special, and other people need to see that and see it's not just about talent. There's a lot more to Jakayla. She's an incredible person. Blessed my life greatly, my family's life. And so I'm just thankful for the little time we had with her. But thank you guys so much. I know y'all got to move on. Thanks for having me on, and thank you for spending the time to talk about our girl, Jakayla.
Absolutely. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Eddie, go ahead and jump back in with the next game, and we're gonna run through that real quick.
Yeah. The next game I believe was I don't have a schedule in front.
Olive Branch.
Was it Olive Branch?
Olive Branch.
Okay. Yeah, the Olive Branch and Holmes County Central. We got a chance to watch the first half, and I'll just kind of let Cord touch on that game since Cord was there the entire game. So Cord, you want to touch on the Olive Branch?
Look, your sound sounds different all of a sudden.
Okay. What about now? Can you hear me now?
We can hear you, but you sound like, I don't know, you just sound different.
Okay. I'm going to let Cord go ahead and touch on Olive Branch. I'm going to jump on the laptop and then get back in, okay?
Okay. You gonna tear the laptop up or you jump on it? No, I can hear it now. You're back. If you jump on the laptop, there's no way you're gonna use it. But go ahead, Corey.
Yeah, the Olive Branch Holmes County Central game. I mean, it was close in the first half. I know Chuck was there. He can kind of help me out with talking about it. It just seemed like once Olive Branch got in their flow, it was kind of like it was a train that just kept going. I mean, they were just hitting layups after layups, just playing incredible team basketball, passing that ball around like a hot potato. And they looked at Raymond Piggy really was being the general out there, controlling the team tempo. Putting them in scoring opportunities. They looked good. Holmes County played them tough in the first half, though. But I think just Olive Branch just being a little bit too much and got going, running and gunning a little bit. It just looked like they was on a smooth cruise in the second half. Would you agree with it, Phil?
Yeah. What happened is we kind of watched the first half, and I had went down with some shoes that they had gotten a little uncomfortable for me. So Eddie and I had to run and grab me another pair of shoes. And then we went back in and kind of watched the second half on the television. And I saw the same thing you said, Cord, that Rima just kind of took over in the second half. So she had a really good second half. I know with Holmes County, the Kyra Mitchell, who's a sophomore, and Shakendala Jones usually kind of spearhead that team. And Too Tall kind of shores the paint. And just seemed like that game, they were missing a lot of layups that I hadn't really seen them miss all year. Thinking that if Holmes County would have made some of the layups that they're accustomed to making, the game probably would have been a little closer. But like I say, Olive Branch, everybody know what they come with. know they're well coached, and if he got opportunity to win, he gonna maximize on it. So that's pretty much what I saw that game.
And Olive Branch got another. When I was talking about the 25 class earlier, they got another special 25, 2025 player in Brianna Black. She know how to play the game of basketball. She got a high IQ, got good size to play the wing position. I think they got some pieces to go forward at Olive Branch. I know people thinking they just so upperclassmen heavy, with the good upperclassmen that they have in Addison High and Rain Piggies, but they got some young players that look good too, coming off their bench.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but the next game is we're moving on right now.
Go ahead.
The next game is what I
Super
want
low
to
and
kind of.
Meridian.
It's a couple pieces in the next game that just was kind of. It was crazy. You're talking about double overtime and Eddie Banks. So I know he was there to witness that crazy double overtime game. It started off. I'm gonna be honest. Both teams were missing a lot of shots, a lot of easy layups under the basket. They was playing extremely well defense on that. It seemed like they both were prepared for whatever each other was running on offense. It just was kind of like one of them games. It's kind of like it was like one of them defensive football games that you just wait for it to explode with all that talent that was on the floor. But once it got going, it was pretty interesting. I think what they ended regulation 45-45, which I was thinking that game was kind of low scoring a little bit, but the way they started off, it was a little chippy. And it's so much talent was on that floor. Jay Rucker didn't really score a lot of points, but she just looked so good. Like, if you were a college girl, I know with the eye test, she just fits the eye test, the way she moved, and she playing defense extremely well, passing the ball. Like, she looking to make that great basketball player every time she got the ball in her hand. Houston was making big shots in most of the second half because, like I said, that first half was kind of rough for everybody. But I let Eddie jump in on that too, because it was a lot to cover in that game. Some calls that went some people way. It was crazy.
Oh yeah, like you said, Cord. Can y'all hear me a little bit better now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. A lot of talent, man. Two of the obviously top teams in the state, and probably two of the deepest teams too, from top to bottom. Charity Hinton. I want to talk about two things that was glaring to me, and my takeaway was Charity Hinton is probably the quickest guard in the state of Mississippi. She getting left to right as quick as anybody that you ever seen. They asked the question what she did, whatever she wanted to do, but she was so disruptive early on in the game when Tupelo was trying to get into their offense, because she was putting some hellified pressure on Tupelo guards, and that's important for a smaller guard. I know we were just talking about Olivia Knight and some of the smaller guards. Obviously, Charity is on her way to Mississippi Valley State with the great Ashley Walker, and this circus clown is popping bubble gum right now. Damn clown. But I think she's gonna be able to be a kid at the next level. Maybe after a year of getting acclimated to the college system. Even as I've coached her the past couple of years, man, she was so impressive. And several other coaches that were up there were asking me, myself and Chuck, hey man, where's she going? Where this kid going? And of course she had already committed to Valley, man. But Charity Hinton was the best player on the floor, either side, in my opinion. I think she was heads and tails when the star, she was a star amongst stars. And then as far as like Tupelo just got so many weapons. Matt Justice just like a kid on Christmas. Hell, he can go small, he can go, he's got size, he's got a lot of stuff. But Lamira Cleves, Court, you've been telling me about this kid for a long time. I do want to take a second to say, man, I've seen her play, obviously coached against her. But my God, this kid right here is training to be a top 5 kid if she continues to work and continues to improve her game. Because let me just tell you, like she made some big free throws in the second half. And I've been knowing the
shot a couple threes.
shot a couple of threes. I've been knowing Poe since she was 5th or 6th grade. And I've watched Poe light my butt up in the summer with AAU and tear up a lot of people. But Lamira Cleaves literally frustrated Depresha Poe, who's on her way to Mississippi State like no other defender I've ever seen. And she's the top player in the state of Mississippi, arguably. I don't think nobody's going to debate that Depresha Poe is the best player in that class. And that 10th grader absolutely frustrated her. I know Poe ended up still getting, 20 points or whatever, but she made her work for everything.
Yeah,
she worked for it. I'm telling you, I saw one time when she came to the sideline and Precia had a frustrated Poe told Meridian's coach, hey, man, I ain't shooting the ball no more. And her coach got into her pretty good, about that. And I just never seen Poe frustrated at all. I've never seen anybody.
But I like the way she still tried to will her team, though. Like, and we can talk about the later game where I seen a player that's highly talented that didn't necessarily do that. But, I ain't gonna say no names, but she willed her team, made sure she tried to put her team on her back, even though she wasn't having the best of games. But, I really enjoyed watching her do that.
Oh yeah, she resilient. and again, everybody's gonna have an off night. I just never seen Poe that frustrated before. And so, but I think she even shot 5 air balls. Was it, Chuck, like 5 or 6 air balls? And that's just so uncharacteristic of the Preacher.
4, exactly. I know for sure 4.
Yeah, 4 or 5 air balls or whatever. So if Cleves can defend a 5-star recruit, a top 100 kid like that on that stage and be able to defend that position, because now what that's telling me is she can defend 1 through 4, or should I say 2 through 4. I don't know. Hell, she might could defend, the 1, because she moves so well. Lamira Cleves does. And so I know ULM was there really, really scouting her, and she jumped out on their radar. I know she probably, if Brooks would have been there, Brooks might have would have offered her. I mean, she really, really played tremendous. So Nadia Norfleet, I'm gonna tell you, that freshman ain't scared of nothing. Man, I'm telling you, she made, and God forbid she don't have a serious injury, but she chased down. That was a big play in that game. I want to say they got a steal and they threw it to Poe. Poe thought she had a breakaway layup, and that kid chased her down and prevented a layup, which was a crucial point in the game. But she made some big shots, Nadia Norfleet, and she's one of the tougher kids, younger 2025 kid. I know we talked about some other kids, but she's definitely one of the better 2025 kids in the state. So, but all in all, it was a great game, and we get to the MVP of the game, the Dandy Dozen, Audra Houston, who I told Chuck right before. I don't know what Matt Justice had. I don't know what Matt Justice had drew up for that particular situation. You're down 3. At that point, Houston is your best player. I didn't know if he was going to try to use her as a decoy and get the ball to Jakayla Riley. That kind of looked like what the game plan was, to try to maybe get Riley a shot off, I think. But anyway, it ended up in the right person's hand. And before that inbound, I had told Chuck, I say, if Audra Houston get this ball, if it goes to her, she's going to make this shot and send this game into overtime. And I told Chuck before it happened. And I'm going to tell you what I noticed what Audra Houston did. If you remember, Jay Rucker turned the ball over a couple of times down the stretch. She threw one pass. She thought the girl was going back door and threw it. Made a big turnover right there trying to make a play. And I saw Audra kind of go up to her, obviously going to a younger kid. And so that told me the way she approached her was like, hey, get me the ball. You can tell when kids want the big moment versus kids who shy away from that. And I knew if she got the ball, she was going to make that play. So she's a phenomenal player. Like you said, second half, she proved to be what she is. And that's one of the top players in the state, regardless of class, Audra Houston. So that was a really good game, all in all. And again, both crowds and both coaches did a remarkable job. I think it was a really good game, low-scoring game, but all in all, a well-played game. So did y'all want to touch on that before we go into the next game?
Yeah, I just feel like that call that was it turned from a charge to a block. that changed the momentum of the game. It was like a minute and 13 left, and then Tupelo just went on like a 7-0 run from there. I think that was a big momentum changer. I ain't never seen referee call huddle up in that type of situation when you got, I mean, it looked like it was a veteran crew, and made that change right there on the spot. I don't know. I don't know if y'all want to elaborate on that, how y'all felt about the change in call they made.
Go ahead, Chuck.
I can't hardly. I think, Coach, what you and I was sitting there, I think we came to the conclusion that, yeah, usually you don't see them do it, but I think they changed it to the right call, didn't they? I mean, what do you feel, Coach? I'm trying to.
I thought it was. I thought it most definitely was a block and not a charge because she was moving. But I think it was so close that I don't think you overturn it. Like you were saying, Cord, I've never seen it. Like I say, they were veteran officials who huddled up and changed their call. And that was a crucial play in the game. But again, like you say, that's a part of it. For whatever reason, the call was made, and there was some plays that could have been made on both sides. So that game could go either way. And when if they see each other in the playoffs, it's a game that could, it could go down the stretch and any team could win. And in 6A, to be honest with you, I know I predicted Harrison Central to win, but I'll be honest with you, 6A is so damn loaded. I mean, when you're one and done, you're not playing in a series like in NBA best of 7 or best of 5. Anybody can win one game, one player getting foul trouble, that type of thing. But I know we got to move on to the next game. So what do we have next after
Clinton.
Tishomingo.
I'll be honest with you. I predicted that game before court. I told Chuck, I think Tishomingo wins by 10. But man, I tell you, Coach Fairley did a tremendous job keeping that game really, really close. And the more I see Ayana, man, she just is, she is just a lot better than what you think. She stepped up each game, and of course they're without Taylor Felton and Caitlin Walker right now. And they are, I think, Coach, you want to talk what Clinton on a 3 or 4 game losing streak since they've been hurt or whatever, something like that?
Yeah. Clinton's on a 4-game losing streak right now. Like I said, the first game was against Brandon. Taylor Felton was out. And then the last 3 games, we've had Taylor Felton and Caitlin Walker out. So, like I said, Coach has, she and I talk time to time, and Coach just said, of course, she's not going to quit coaching. She don't want the players to quit playing, just next person up. So, like I say, I think here in the next week or 2, we should be back in, full staff. And like I said, try to get the ball back rolling.
Well, I'm going to tell you, man, Clara, if anybody doubting Clara Garland, they need to stop doubting her. Hell, that girl went to work, man. I think she had a triple-double.
At 23 rebounds.
23 rebounds. She's special. She altered when she don't block shots, she alters shots. And so I think UT Martin is getting a tremendous basketball player, and she's a really good kid. Cord, I know you know her just like I do. She's a good kid too, and a real good teammate. So Coach Middleton is doing a phenomenal job with Tishomingo. So much so I got them in my updated rankings as a top 5 team in the midst of all of this talent in 6A, just because they're still undefeated and rolling. And Reese Moore is tough, man. I'm gonna tell you, Reese is a tough kid. She missed a lot of layups and some and ones she could have made, yet she would have had a better stat line. But she's getting to her spot, and she can get whatever she wants on the floor. And I'll tell you, man, a lot of people been telling me, Eddie, Madison Bennett, man, Cord, I'm telling you, that kid shoot that ball well. She got a good feel for the game, good IQ. I know that's one of your kids you had. You can kind of elaborate on her, but Madison Bennett is a special player. And Tishomingo's got a lot of talent, man. I mean, they are, I know Taylor, and I think it was a 14-point game final, was a final, but, without Felton and Walker, you could say, hey, that game goes anyway. But Clinton's one of the top 6A teams in the state, and they're proven as a 4A team that they can play with, with pretty much anybody. They've beaten some quality teams this year. So.
Yeah. I think Tishomingo is really good. It's just tough to beat a team like that. I think they had a couple injuries too. I know one of their post players, Lex Kennedy, is about to come back. And I think they had a couple more injuries, but it was both teams was, but they had their stars though. They had their ones they needed to be out there on that floor to get the job done. Madison Bennett is the heart and soul of that team. She been hitting big shots for a minute now. Hit some big shots all year. She a big shot maker. She real pretty with it, but she can get to her spots and she can shoot that thing deep too. She gonna be a very good shooter in the next level with the line being extended and stuff. She gonna be able to fill it up, catch and shoot.
She moved well, like you say, Corey. She in and out. God Almighty, that joke was smooth. The way she moved, Madison Bennett in and out with that ball, man. She got a beautiful shot. And like I say, Reese Moore is tough, tenacious as hell. She get it done. They are a special team, and Middleton's doing a great job. Who do we have? Who do we have next?
We got Pontotoc Germantown. I left at the fourth quarter of this game, but I thought it was getting out of hand, but it looked like it turned out to be a good game.
Yeah, it did. Alana Rouser got in foul trouble early. Unfortunate, man, for her. She's been in foul trouble. I know Chuck has watched Germantown a lot the past several games, and she's getting in foul trouble a lot early on, which is kind of, obviously put them behind the 8 ball. So they dug themselves a hole, and she was able to come back in the game and finish with a double-double. I don't know if Chuck, you remember Alana's stats from last night? I think she
Alana, she finished the game with 12 points and 14 rebounds and 2 blocks.
Okay, and so that was huge. And then you call me Nostradamus or whatever, but me and Chuck both said down the stretch in that game, if Samaya Brooks got the ball, we drew it up and said, man, if they get it in her hands, she's gonna finish it. And she did what big time players make big plays in big games. And so she was a workhorse in the second half, made some big plays. She was able to use some up and under moves and some ball fakes to kind of get Alana off balance early on. It's what a veteran does, and kind of got some fouls, some chips. I think 2 of those calls, in my opinion, were bad calls against Alana. And I just think you got to know, as a referee, man, going into the game, we ain't there to see you, ref. We there to see the better players, and nobody wants to see a kid like that miss the entire first half. And so, but Allie Beckley, man, I know Kyle Hurd tweeted out about her earlier today. I saw that, and he's dead on, man. She is definitely a player that I enjoy watching her play. She makes all the right plays. She's so savvy. She's going to ICC. I think she committed to ICC as a 2-sport athlete, but she's definitely one of the smarter overall point guards in the state of Mississippi. The one thing I take from a point guard whenever they're making passes, we talk about how if you're passing it to shooters, if the pass is off a little bit to the left, off a little bit to the right, then that 1 second of you having to recover is the difference in you getting off a good shot. If you notice when those girls from Pontotoc were hitting shots early and she made those passes, she's so accurate with her passing, man. And she's always got a head up, and she's just a really, really fun player to watch. Your girl, Bowen, talked with her mom after the game. I know she didn't have her best game, Corey. I kind of let you touch on her, but still, you can just tell the ability she has to be able to shoot. I think she shot 4 or 5 3-pointers, man. So she's out shooting that basketball with a lot of confidence for Pontotoc. I like to see her be a little bit more physical inside and finish some of those plays. I think for them to get over the hurdle and to be able to repeat this year, I think she's got to be able to work inside and out a lot. But she's very versatile, man, and she did a tremendous job despite the fact, like I say, she didn't have her best game on yesterday. And then we'll talk about Booker, obviously, scoring her 1,000-point in her career. But go ahead, Cordeers.
Oh no, you touched on it about Jamil. I mean, she got to continue to run that motor, and but she got such a good touch from the outside, and look like she's getting better playing in a very good system over there at Pontotoc. So I'm happy for seeing her growth on that team, just being a part of a good program like that. Continue to grow, because that's mainly what she needs.
Yeah, Chuck, you have anything about the Germantown and Pontotoc game? Any takeaways?
Pretty much, Coach, same thing you said, Coach. I thought that, like I said, Alana getting in early foul trouble was detrimental to him. Like I said, of course, I go out and, like I said, support Alana. A lot of the games, going to watch them, and I see that when Alana usually can stay on the floor, gives them such a great opportunity to go ahead and take the lead or stay close. It's like when she leaves the game, just that workhorse and that person who's relentless on the boards, you just lose that. So, like I said, I thought that of course my mind just went blank one second, Coach. I thought that, of course, that was a really good game. I thought that it went down to the wire. Kyle Hurd had a really good game plan. Of course, you and I kind of were speaking with him. That's what he was saying. He was going in trying to really, keep Alana off the boards and those second chance putbacks. And like I said, great heads up play by the Dandy Dozen senior. She just happened to be in the right place, right time. We had already called it that if she got the ball, we felt like it was going to be ball game.
Yeah, and Coach Hurd did tell us too that that's the key when you're trying to beat Germantown. Booker's a phenomenal player, so she's going to get hers. But the key to beating Germantown is if you can minimize Alana, because she just does so many other things, and she, like you say, just a workhorse, keeping shots, second chance shots, and a lot of things that she do. And Germantown supporting cast has got to step up. Obviously having two of the better players in the state. They've got some real good role players and young players that can really play. Charlie hit a couple of shots, I think, yesterday. She's a really good shooter. Charlie Gambarine is a 2025 prospect. And then Reagan Jordan, I think she might have got injured in the game and was kind of in and out. She's had some pretty good games for Germantown. She didn't contribute as much as probably she wanted to on yesterday. And then I don't know what Booker had. Cordarius, do you have Booker stats, Chuck? I think I'm not sure what she had yesterday, but she's working extremely hard. I think she's working way too hard on a lot of those shots. She's taking a lot of jump shots too, in my opinion. And it's just gonna be tough to beat a lot of good teams with you taking, to me, a lot of low percentage shots. Even for as tremendous of a player and talent she is. Those are some really, really tough shots. And if I'm a coach and I'm coaching against Germantown and you go take step back 30-footers, I'm cool. You beat me. You know what I'm saying? I'll go home happy. So that's one thing that I said. Even I said it to EV. I know he can't talk on it. I said it to him privately that I think that Germantown go as far. It's not gonna be about Booker. It's gonna be about Alana and their supporting cast, Reagan Jordan and Charlie and Sydney Wilder and some of the kids that Marion the senior. So
I agree, but I disagree. Because it was several times I seen Madison Booker had the Beckley kid on her, and it was like fadeaway jumpers. So I think sometimes you got to put your head down and finger roll that thing off the backboard. You just got to be aggressive right there in them spots. I just feel like sometimes you got a lot of times she got the defensive, like she got the offensive advantage. A lot of times she got to take advantage of, she too good for that. Like bailing out like 5-foot players, like she got to kill them. You know what I'm saying? I think she killed them. I think they would have won the game at least by six points.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
You got anything, Chuck?
No, I was just sitting there kind of listening to what he's saying. That's something I was kind of alluding to. Just saying that I think a lot of times, what we say, you let them off the hook. You got them, and then you kind of let them off the hook by taking a fade away or taking a tough shot, opposed to punishing in that smaller player for being on you. You have to, you set the tone. So, like I said, a lot of times, I don't know if late in the game, I think it was a play to where somebody had broke away, or Madison had broke away or something for a layup, and the kid just stopped, because they knew it was nothing they can do to stop it, and that's almost how you have to be. Once you get on them, they got to start begging and screaming for some help.
But I agree that sporting cast got to be good, though. They got to be good. But I feel like in that game, I seen some stuff there, man. She could have took advantage of some of the defense assignments that was on her. You know.
Yeah. Look, like you say, they're you know, we say bad shot, then it go in good shot, you know.
Oh yeah.
And you know, Beckley them was just sitting in the paint, like Ella them was just sitting back. They wouldn't extended, and she was pulling up.
They went 2-3.
Yeah, they were
Didn't they go 2-3?
Yeah, it was 2-3, and they were 2 feet inside of the 3-point arc when she was taking those 30-foot shots. So, what I'm saying, she could have dribbled in and shot over Beckley. She could have dribbled in and just shot over the top of Beckley,
yeah,
and that's, you know, and shoot a 15 to 20-foot shot versus a 30-foot shot, and it just looks bad when you're missing continuous shots like that. Because that's bad shot selection, and those are not high percentage shots. But again, like I said, overall, I think they're talented enough, I think, to get over the hump and be able to be a team down the stretch if they get it going, like you said. But it's definitely got to be, you know, her playing a lot better in the bigger games, and then the supporting class playing a lot better in the bigger games. Because every game that I've went to, big game that I've seen Germantown play, Alana Rouse has been the best player on the floor for Germantown every single time. And so, you know, big players got to be able to step up. You know, you got the hype around you, you got the accolades, you got all of this. You got to step up in the big games and not just be okay or be all right. You got to, when you leave that gym, you got to say, no doubt, this kid is a future McDonald's All-American. This kid is what she is, you know. So, but anyway, who do we have next? We had was it the last game?
Yeah, the last game.
I mean,
it's gonna be
Belmont and Boonville.
Belmont.
Okay, and we only stayed for the first half of that game. I'm just so impressed. Another 2025. Carly Brock came out and played. She's got a high motor. Man, that kid is so tough. She's clearly the best point guard. Cord, you may disagree with me in that 2025 class. I think she's, and what's your opinion? Do you think Carly Brock is the best point guard in the 2025 class, in your opinion?
I think it just depends on what type of guard you want. She good. I mean, I think we can flip a coin. Okay. You know, I want to see it some more before I just go out on the limb and say, oh yeah or no. You know, obviously I like that. You know, Nadia can score.
Who's the coin flip, Corey?
Nadia Norfleet or Carly Brock.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Pastor, how was your nap? How was your Sunday nap? We ain't heard nothing from you. Now you talking about a coin flip.
Your phone, we didn't hear none of that. Your phone kind of went like, is it either my internet is unstable or you're unstable?
It might be yours. It might be yours right there. I heard it loud and clear.
Hey, I think it's a three-way. I think the three better guards in that class is Johanna Wilson, JoJo, Carly Brock, and Nadia Norfleet. If in a pecking order, I would say, my opinion, I've seen enough of them. Carly Brock's one, and I think there's a little bit of a gap between her and Norfleet and Johanna right now. I think that's
I disagree. I disagree with the gap though, because
what's the gap? How big a gap?
I think Nadia can score better than all three of them. So we got a different. Every last one of them got different tangibles. I mean, Brock seems like she's a leader, like she's a feisty dog. Nadia can really shoot. She can really score.
Yeah, Nadia baller.
She a ball. She one of them players like I ain't saying she like, but I feel like she can get out the car, put her shoes on. She ain't got stretch. She gonna tear you up. Like, you got to play her. Like, she one of them Taylor Felton type. Get out the car. I ain't saying she as good as Taylor Felton, but I'm saying she can get out the car. She can get out the car and hoop. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain players like that. I think Carly Brock one of them. Then she played multiple sports, right? Did she play softball too?
Yeah. She played football and everything. But yeah, I think
football, tennis.
Yeah. She plays a lot of sports. She got a swag about her. Her and all three of them. You don't be that good. And I know we're gonna get back to the last game, but you're not that good without having a swag and a confidence. And she walked like hell. I'm the baddest thing since sliced bread. And I do think like I said, I've seen a lot of them not trying to be biased or anything. I like all three of them, but I do think that there's a distinct difference to me. I just think she's got that it factor. Not saying Nadia or JoJo doesn't have it either. I think they're all really good. If you gave me JoJo, if I'm picking a team, you say, hey, you got Nadia or JoJo, you can't have Carly. I ain't tripping, because particular games when they match up against each other, one is going to outplay the other sometimes. So that happens. But back to the game again. We saw the first half. Man, it got late. We had to leave there. Mary Grace Stormont, man, I don't know how she do it, but she is a damn stat stuffer. She continues to get 24, 25 points. I don't care what you do, however you do it, she go get her numbers, you know. And she's consistently over 20 points every single game. And she just does it the old-fashioned way, like putbacks. She in the right place at the right time. You know, she pull up jump shot. She goes to the free throw line a lot. Huh?
Got that neck for scoring.
She got that neck.
Tell me this, because I know some like certain players, you know, when we do rankings and stuff, that's what people got to understand. It ain't really all about stats when we're doing rankings and evaluate. So tell me, is it more so her scoring them points? Is it more so Belmont's system, or you think she can get that on another program? Can she get that 25? Because I mean, Macy was kind of the same hitting that. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, I think it's one of the things where, yeah, some of Belmont's system, because they're so up and down, so she get a lot of high percentage shots with layups. Because if you look at Mary Grace, you look at Mary Grace 25. Hell, she just gets you 25 every night. She's gonna get a ton of layups. Playing alongside of a Carly Brock and playing with Macy last year and Brooklyn Hoodham and some of those players, a lot of times they're coming up with a lot of steals. And so a lot of these kids are getting easy buckets. And then she spends a lot of time at the free throw line too. I noticed too, yesterday I was telling Chuck, one of the things that Mary Grace, a weakness that she had was shooting a perimeter shot. And Mary Grace was able to shoot the ball a couple of times yesterday with confidence. I think she knocked down a couple of threes, didn't she, Chuck? And we were just talking about how that's something that we didn't know that she had. So that's something, if she improves on her outside shot, then now she projects to be talking about the ranking. So when I look at rankings, when I look at a kid like Mary Grace, okay, who's a kid in my program, I'm not going to rank her as a top 10 just because she's a kid in my program, because I lose credibility. You understand what I'm saying? My rankings are based on projection. So back to what we're talking about.
Plenty of credibility. Go on, go. I'm sorry.
Oh man, go ahead. He always hating on the rankings, man. Just shut up. We having a good show
without 25 points a game. You know what you're saying? It ain't all about the 25 points a game.
It don't. Listen, let me tell you one thing. Points don't mean anything, because when EV, the clown that he is, when he's evaluating players, and if he's a good recruiter, which I don't know if he's a good recruiter or not, they're looking at, can you get a college bucket? You understand what I'm saying? If you scoring 25 points and half of them are layups, then that's not a college bucket. You understand what I'm saying? So for Mary Grace, as much as I love her, she's a top 25 kid in this class, only because, one, Belmont's gonna play a lot of weak competition up north. Two, when you think about how she competed on the circuit, that matters. Like, you know what I mean? When you compete on the circuit, that really matters. And then three, where do you project to be at the next level? And I try to be real with the kids in terms of where they project to be at the next level. So like with Germantown, I think Alana's the best player on Germantown team, but Madison Booker's the best prospect. You understand what I'm saying? Based on every big game I've went to, Alana has been the best that I've been to. She's been the best player in the gym. Booker's the best prospect. You understand? So there's a difference. It's kind of like this. Caitlin Brinkley.
Close your mouth, man. You stop saying, like, please, man. Go ahead, man. I ain't gonna say a word. I can't say nothing. Go ahead. I ain't gonna say a word. I'm gonna act like I can't say nothing.
I knew that was gonna wake him up. He say I'm biased, but he biased to a fault. He biased. Go ahead. Lose your job.
I can't say it. Ain't nothing I can say.
lose
I
your
can't
job.
comment on players. I ain't gonna comment. I'm just.
Well, look, if you ain't
I
gonna
wanted to say
comment,
something
look,
so
if you
bad.
ain't gonna comment, shut your mouth and let us continue on with the show. If you can't
I
comment,
will. Go ahead, buddy.
All right, thank you. All right. But yeah, but the rankings are based on projections. Caitlin Brinkley is projected to be a better prospect than several kids that may be scoring more points. Because if we based it solely on points or averages or things like that, then at that particular point, and you just go down max preps and you say the kid who has the most points. But the top 10 kids are going to be your no-brainer Division I kids, if that makes sense. You understand what I'm saying, Cord? Your top 10, like in the 25 class, Rutgers a Division I kid, Brock's Division I, Pfeiffer Division I, Johanna Wilson Division I. I know all of them got size issues, but they can go play at Mississippi Valley State at all. You know what I mean? They can play in the MEAC. They're low major Division I players, in my opinion. So, but
we got to recognize who the high majors is. You missed one.
Caitlin. Okay, I told you earlier.
No, I'm just messing with you.
Oh yeah,
I'm just trying to big up because I don't think a lot of people understand what we got in this state, and I hope she stay in Clarksdale. I really hope she do, but you never know.
No, I think I'll go on the record. Caitlin Hall wouldn't surprise me if she's the best prospect in that class when it's all said and done. Not the least bit. And actually, we got rankings that'll be coming out for that class in a little bit anyway, and she's definitely up there amongst the top kids, no doubt. But from what I saw from the first game, the Johnson sisters from Boonville, both are injured, get well. Man, they're not. And I talked to their mom last week. They're obviously dealing with some injuries, and they're key to that particular team. And so, not having them 100%, you can definitely see makes a big difference because they are obviously the two best players on that team and two of the best players in that whole entire class with that 1A, right? And 1A.
No, they 4A.
4A, okay.
Boonville 4A.
Yeah. Boonville, okay. So, but no, they definitely competed, and I saw that obviously Belmont ended up pulling the game out in the end. So, and Brooklyn Hood'em is a big shot maker. Man, even her misses look good. She's got a beautiful shot. Of course, she hit the game winner in the state championship last year. And I do want to touch on what I said. I stand by. I think that Puckett wins 2A after I've seen both of them now. And the reason I think Belmont has more talent than Puckett, no doubt. But I think looking at the matchups, you know how sometimes, like I'll say this, like as far as when you look at overall the matchups, and I know these kids, hell, half of that team plays in my program on both sides. They don't match up well with Puckett, and their style of play, I think, it's the difference maker. For me, swinging who wins 2A in my early prediction. Chuck don't agree with me because I know when he don't agree with me. He said, Coach Young, you show Puckett can beat Belmont. I do. I think that they going into the game, I would have had Belmont, but I definitely think that that now.
Well, you just messed up Puckett's chances. You didn't put your thing on it. So Holly, whenever I see you, he just done messed you up. He didn't put his head in the way. And it's like, man, like, why would you do that, man? They supposed to be your friends.
Ain't nobody taking you serious, man. It's past your bedtime. You talking a bunch of nonsense, man. We trying to finish this show, man.
Well, let's wrap it up. Let's. It's been wonderful. Let's go ahead and and I appreciate you guys being on because you're right. Some of us have to get up and do some things tomorrow. It has been a phenomenal show, and we will. With that being said, let's go ahead and give our geeks of the night, our final geeks. And so as we get ready to end this, we'll start with you, Chuck, and then Cord, and then the easy one, and then myself.
Last geek, like I said, just definitely appreciate you having me on. I know it's been a while since I've been on. Come on, man. I still watch you guys, man, and get some laughs at you. I think you, like I said, you all do a wonderful job. want to wish prayers out to, like I said, Nadia Norfleet. Let's pray that she recovers well, and let's just pray that everybody's out injured. That we wish them a speedy recovery, and let's try to end this season on a positive note, man. And that's it. Thank you for having me on.
Corey?
Yeah. I would like to just say to these kids out here, I mean, if everybody want to be a scorer, everybody want to put up 20 points a game. I mean, you got to go home and watch some film sometimes. You got to get in the gym and work on your spots that you can get to and really can be efficient in scoring instead of just chunking up bad shots. Like it's sometimes it becomes sickening seeing some of these kids just chunking bad shots up left and right. And I'm talking about all season, just all the time. It's one of my pet peeves. If you're gonna be a scorer, put the work in to be a scorer. Learn how to be a scorer. Watch some of the great scorers play. Watch how they get their points. It's not about just taking the shot. It's about them high percentage shots that you need to get, and getting in the gym to be able to hit them. And prayers to Nadia. Hopefully everything is good with her leg. It was a good show.
Yeah, I agree, man. Shout out to Nadia Norfleet said. Y'all keep us posted on that, baby, man. We hope and pray that she's gonna be okay. My last geek is a shout out to the 5 Bobcats that made the Dandy Dozen this year. Samaya Brooks from Pontotoc, Savannah Haley from Centerville Academy, Layla Carter from Vicksburg High, Taylor Felton from Clinton High School, and Audrey Houston from Tupelo High School. So shout out to all of y'all girls. Danny Dozen is prestige list. I know it's a goal for a lot of kids. If you didn't receive, I'll just tell you, if you didn't make the list, don't get upset. Just continue to work hard. And again, like Jakayla Johnson said earlier, she wasn't on any of those lists. So it really don't mean anything. It's just opinions of people. When we make our opinions, let me say this. Hey, wake up, man. Wake up. The last geek.
That is his last geek, Coach.
That's his last geek. Our opinions don't mean that we don't like you, we dislike you. This is a sports show. You're going to be judged and critiqued all your life. After games, y'all may say I'm a terrible coach. I may be a terrible leader. I may be whatever, and that's just your opinion. Doesn't define, our opinions don't define who you are. When you don't make Gatorade Player of the Year, whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. So I just say continue to stay encouraged, continue to work hard, and through God you can do all things but fail. So that's my last geek. Great show, man. I appreciate it. And let's let this guy come on so before he fall asleep and start snoring.
I wasn't falling asleep. I was looking at something. I have enjoyed this show tonight. Thanks, shout out to Jakayla Johnson. Just a truly inspirational story. And for all of the young ladies who are hurt, you can come back and look at it and take a lot of what she said and help you through this process. Thanks. Shout out to Missy Bilderback for coming on and echoing the same sentiments. Shout out to all of you guys for coming on. And I just encourage each and every one of you who are listening to continue to get better each and every day. And if wherever you are in your life, you need to trust God like never before and lean not to your own understanding. For Charles Felton, Cordarius Jones, the easy one, I'm Coach EB, aka EB, the Geeker, saying good evening and good night.